does the tree have a potential? And if the tree has a potential, then what is that potential? That seems like a very silly question to ask. And the answer, obviously, is the tree is a tree. So when a tree is a full-grown tree, then there's no more potential to that tree except than being tree, which is in its um, DNA, you could say. Now, I think the tree has a much different potential than just being tree. And just being tree is a small world because being a tree is a magnificent thing. Um, but a tree is also, as we know, is also a shelf and a wooden plank and a boat and a ukulele instrument like I have here in the back. And the tree has all of that as a potential. And it's the human who will transform the tree and take the tree and sometimes sacrifice or kill the tree in order to produce, in order to actualize the potential that's there from the beginning in the tree. And human beings have that capacity of dreaming up things and of creating things that apparently don't exist. And and to see a chair in a tree and to see a table in a tree. And I think that that potential is there from the start. It's in the tree itself, and the type of chair or the type of shelf you can have, or the sound that will be produced by the instruments will be very much different according to the tree that you are using for that. And in from that point of view, we need to remain humble. It is not because we have dreamt and that we have produced musical instruments that we are the sole power or the sole source of intelligence or of creation here. In fact, the presence of the trees may be triggering us to think about chairs and tables and ukulele instruments and so on. And we should really be thankful as well every time we pick up the guitar or the ukulele, or every time we put a book on the shelf, is to thank the tree that has enabled us to produce those shelves and tables and instruments, and that ultimately also help us actualize our own potential and help us have a significant impact um, on the world in its totality. Hopefully, we want to have a positive impact rather than a negative one. But in any case, every time we produce music using a guitar or a ukulele, for instance, well, it is thanks to the tree and thanks to many other things, thanks to working hours and thanks to other materials that is being used in the creation of the guitar or the ukulele. And so, of course, we also want to be humble and thankful and wise in the way that we are using tree and that we are producing or actualizing our dreams. And so it is not useful to have five ukulele instruments. I can only play one at a time. And uh, the problem is that we tend to produce too many of those and we tend to discard them too quickly. And we tend to do that without any form of gratitude or recognition, respect for the sacred life, for the sacredness of what the tree has given to us. And as I was thinking about those thoughts some more, I went for a walk, and during the walk I noticed again. It's not the first time I see them. There are some wooden benches on the way to the park and in the park itself. And those wooden benches were made from fallen trees, trees that have fallen during some of the big storms we've had here. And that's an interesting thought as well, is to say, okay, so the potential of that tree, of being a tree that is alive, a tree that is giving shelter to birds, a tree that is nourishing the earth, that is getting light from the sky and doing all kinds of things that I don't know about, providing protection to bees and so on. The trees, once it has fallen down, um, when it's dying, when it's no more in its full um, power of a tree, it can also be transformed and salvaged and used to make musical instruments or to make wooden benches so that we can sit there and we can enjoy nature, we can enjoy the time that's there, we can have a chat, or maybe we can play some music, maybe we can create some new stuff, dream up some new stuff, because that tree fell down because of the storm and because um, people in my city were in charge of taking care of the trees that had fallen down and thought about creating benches out of these trees. So the relationship between human beings and nature and the trees and the animals is a much more intimate and complex relationship than just the relationship of a tree is an object that I can cut down and use to make shelves. There is a interplay between them, and the trees inspire me to write poems or to create songs about trees or about nature, about the experiences I have when I'm sitting in the shade of a tree or when I'm lost in the forest. And at the same time, the tree is also the instrument that allows me to express those thoughts and emotions into music, thanks to the ukulele, for instance. And the tree is also just producing uh, oxygen and filtering uh, carbon dioxide, so it's also has a really important role uh, in nature, in life itself. So the trees is actually so much more and so much bigger than just a tree. And the relationship between me and the tree is so much more than just me, a human who can dominate the world and transform the world. And the tree has a potential to be used and abused with no respect. Um, so from now on, I hope I will remember to thank the tree for the music instrument and the chair, and to thank all of the different elements that have contributed to me being able to write a piece of music, to being able to play some music, but also simply for the tree as being a tree in the park or in the fields, in the streets, wherever, that the tree is also just a tree.